Welcome to Albion TV presents the AO Daily Show, your source of real news in an unreal world, keeping you up to date on the latest news, events, and the great community of Albion Online. Today is the 22nd of January, 2020, and I am your host, Shozen, and joining me today will be a recording of the great KingMojo and his sidekick, Chris, aka Sucks. We're going to have a pretty special episode for you guys today. We're going to be basically counting down the top 10 guilds of the season. The goal was to give everybody about 3 minutes. However, this interview goes about, I don't know, an hour and 10, an hour and 15. So people get a little bit more time than 3 minutes. So I do hope you guys enjoy this. Let me set this up for you. I do have one quick PSA. Tonight we will be doing our first bit of coverage of the new Crystal Tournament, or Crystal League. Lupac and I will be on at 20 and 21 UTC. So at 20 we'll start, I guess it's level 2 we'll be showing, and then we'll be showing level 3. So tune in for that if you want to see some Crystal action. I hope you guys enjoy this top 10 countdown. It does get a little spicy, so I apologize if you were surprised to see the mature rating on today's show. All right, we are here right now on Albion TV with our seasonal wrap-up report with the boys from Blue Army. Yes, I'm here once again with KingMojo and his sidekick, his little buddy, his guy.
Sidekick?
His little boo-boo, Sucks. How you doing, you guys? Let's get ready to do this.
Yo, I'm gonna introduce him. He introduces me. Yo, this is your boy Sucks. Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 champion. What's up, boys?
Thank you. And this is KingMojo, best ZVZ shot caller in the game, leader of Blue Army. If you guys know Blue Army, #1 guild all-time Albion. What's up, boys?
Oh my goodness, let's go, baby. Number 11 right now, though.
Number 11 right now. Let's talk about him right now, because what we're going to do is go through the top 10, but in this case, we're making a special exception, as Blue Army has come in 11th, which, let's talk about right off the bat. This is pretty low for you guys. Traditionally,
It's been dark times, Shozen.
I mean, if you want the truth, dude, we were just messing around. We were having fun, playing Albion Online, helping other people, reach their goals, because that's what we do. We're a loving community. BA is a nice guild. Ask Beret, our
Neighborhood friendly.
Exactly.
not
What do you think
family
about
friendly,
that,
though,
Mojo, right?
so.
We're like a nice guild.
Yeah, we're charitable, very charitable. We don't, we focus on other people, not ourselves.
That's straight facts, to be honest. Chosen.
Okay, I won't dispute it. I mean, you did give
You believe
me...
us, Shozen?
well, you gave me a mount once, and you gave June a season.
True.
So...
True.
Oh my God.
Anti-C. Don't forget TC.
Truest words have never been spoken.
Happens. All right, so you're rank 11 this season. Not the best, but still quite admirable for the average guild. But this is no average guild. This is Blue Army. You said you were helping somebody else win. Who were you helping this season?
Listen, there's a lot of people we were helping boost, and some of them are in Alliance, some of them are outside of the Alliance, but we weren't really going for ranking.
Okay.
Mojo is here. You can ask him. He makes the decisions. So, we weren't really going for no top rank this season. I mean, we won season 3, season 4, season 5, season 6, season 7.
Oh.
It gets to the point where, let somebody else win, let somebody else enjoy.
I see some of those gems have just fallen off. There were so many of them, and only 3 of them were able to stick. Okay, I understand. They just don't fit. Okay, I get this. I will not. I can't argue with the facts. So, will you guys be content with hanging back and letting other people steal your points from your hard work and just hand them over like if they were theirs, or are you going to be doing a little bit more proactive point seeking this season?
You're talking about this upcoming season.
Yeah, the season 8 that's coming right around the corner. And just a few days.
Okay. So, I mean, talking about last season, okay. I don't think we had it in us. Right, Sucks? I don't think we had it in us to actually like try hard the mini season. Like there were so many guilds.
Okay, I'm sorry. We have to cut this off. We've gone over our limit for what we can talk about Blue Army right now.
Okay,
Mojo, it's 3 minutes for each guild. Let's move on to AW Gaming. The King is Back Alliance. What do we have?
Is Lupac in here? Yeah. What's going on? Hang on, let me just check the Discord chat. Oh yeah, Lupac's right there.
He's been waiting to use that line for like 6 months.
Oh my god, that was a good one. I'm not gonna. Yo, Shozen, did you write that joke like
right now, off the cuff?
Just waiting for it.
No, okay. I do most stuff off the cuff.
All right, dude. It's all good.
It was also 3 minutes. You're over your time limit. All right, let's talk about AW Gaming.
They're great.
Do we know who's AW? Tell me about AW Gaming. You guys fight them on a regular basis, right? Weren't they?
We used to fight them more. Not anymore so much, to be honest. I mean, you see, ever since this guy called Mark 2K became an altar boy, a priest nowadays, like it's kind of hard for his guild to function as much. But props to them, IMO. I don't know like what Mojo thinks about this, but personally speaking, like they gave a leadership to a new GM. He's taking over.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to rebuild, I think, because a lot of players lost kind of that trust in the new leader, but that's kind of like a given, when you switch leaders like that.
Well, you always have to rebuild that trust. You have to engage the community, get lots of content, and the quickest way to build trust, bringing content.
Facts. That's facts.
I got to tell you, if you're ranked 10 for a season, that means your guild leader brought you some content, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's good.
Yeah,
they did good.
I think that's awesome. I mean, if they went from a point where they had to switch guild leaders, then jumped up the charts all the way up to number 10, not too bad. Not too bad for a short season. Pretty good. Now,
what about Mojo? What does he think about that, though?
I think he still heard about me cutting him off.
Look, this is AW Gaming. Mark 2K had to go AFK.
Yeah.
A lot of people were questioning a lot of the AW Gaming decisions. So, for example, they went to join Oops in the middle of last season, which wasn't really the plan. Or at the beginning of last season, it wasn't really the plan for them to join Oops. So they joined Oops, and there was a big split in the actual player base in AW Gaming. So there was a split there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mark 2K had to go AFK. And in that meantime, Africa Now, who was the leader of the Brazilian Money Guild group, took over and brought the guild in a new direction. So right now it seems kind of solid. He was pretty active. They found a lot of content. And for this season, they've rebranded. So he took the core from there and rebranded it into, I think it's called Last Warning or something. And so they're going in that direction right now. So, I mean, they're doing pretty good, to be honest.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for the in-depth background on these guys. I know Mark. Is he? Does anybody know if he's coming back? Cause
soon.
Okay, because he was awesome. I really enjoyed him.
Speaking of guilds that rebranded, what rank was Money Guild this season? Oh, 4th. Okay. All right, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we've got a few more guilds to go, including Dynastia. Now, this is one of the sadder numbers that we have on here because they got to pretty much 93,000 and then they died. It was a little bit less than that, but they did really well early on in the season. And you guys said that you didn't even know who they were, right?
I know who they were.
Mojo knows
who they were because one of their members I know for a long time. It's Amon.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool guy. He was leading the ZVZ over there, and I know Sky360 was leading the GVG over there, and Scuzz was kind of helping them. So I know him from that. I didn't know their members, so probably Chris means he didn't really know them because he we don't really know their members, their player base.
Okay.
But we know some people from their guild. And so we know why they were doing so good for a start. They definitely had the potential there. But they definitely lacked the how do you say it? leadership probably
Mhm.
to be consistent for more than like a couple months, you know, to keep the base solid. So
I'm hoping to be doing an interview with with the two of the leaders of Dynastia, Avenger and Gabamon, later next week, I guess, to get their post-mortem on what happened to that guild and how it burned so bright for such a short period of time and then just kind of fizzled out and was unable to hold itself together from...
it's unfortunate. They were going for Crystal.
Yeah.
They didn't get Crystal, but it's okay. I mean, they got pretty high in points. At least they made the decision early. They didn't drag it out. They didn't like burn out the whole guild for an objective that they couldn't achieve later on. They just called it early, and then everybody saved some time, energy, and then they still accomplished something. And at the same time, they allowed for a big enough time window to actually let their members find a new home in time for Queen. So that's what they did.
That's true. That's true.
Well, that's cool. You know what? On a side note, guys, it is very important for your members to be able to find a home on Queen. Because, say, I don't know, for example, say you were locked to your alliance locked for the 7 days at the beginning of Queen. That could be detrimental to your start at this kind of event. You need to have a longer period to get started on these things. And I know there's some guilds out there right now that they're still locked. They're not quite.
Yeah, isn't Take Care locked, Chosen?
From what I heard, yeah.
I heard about that.
I heard about that too, Mojo.
Yeah, I did. Do either of you guys have any details on that as like a side note, maybe?
Hey, Mojo, why don't you take that one, bud?
Hold on, let me check my phone. I'm gonna call their team real quick. Oh wait, he took my phone. Hey,
Did you ask them to put replace the screen or something and it just disappeared?
Okay.
Look, but in all seriousness though, like it doesn't affect the members. Like the lock doesn't affect the members. For example, let's say you have a kicking machine, or you have like a Malphus or James Corner, like strong DPS, or strong just ZVZers or Milkshank. It doesn't affect them. You know, because any day they want, they can just walk into any guild.
They could go into a different guild, right? Like, because you're right. It's not the players that it affects, is it? It's the guild itself. It's the guild.
Yeah, it's the guild, but
the guild is locked.
It's the players that, for example, like I said, the players that I mentioned will never have a problem finding a guild. They can walk anywhere and just put X in the chat, and they'll just get instant invited. You know, because they have the stats and they have the reputation. Now, for a member that's like borderline, you know, like, oh, if a guild would be like, oh, should we accept them or not accept them? If he's on lock, you know, that means everything to that player. Like, that player might start Queen without a guild, and then he might not get accepted later, and then he'll end up in another guild. Maybe he won't enjoy it, and then he'll quit the game. So, you know, that shit can happen. That's for real. That shit can happen.
Be real dangerous. You gotta
pick some nice friends, you know. Make sure that you don't get fucked over. Make sure that you know what you're signing up for. Like, you have to know.
Protect your passwords. Protect your passwords, folks.
You know, Shozen, like, Queen is all about the people you know and teamwork. Like, that's what Queen is. Like, Queen is all about teamwork. That's how we feel like, at least. It's all about being able to rely on your alliance, rely on your guildies, rely on your officers, everybody in the guild to help, like, boost you forward and, like, just guide you through this new patch. You know what I mean? It's all about teamwork.
It is. And you know who knows a lot about teamwork?
Who?
Handel.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Number 8 this season. They did really well this season. Now, maybe it was these guys you didn't know about any that I had to fill you in on, right?
I didn't know anything about these guys except one thing. What? I only knew one thing.
What'd you know?
That they wanted to be half of BA with that half sun missing, you know, on their icon.
I think it's a nice icon, actually. I think it looks good.
I mean, we do have a nice icon, you know. But enough about BA. We passed our 3 minutes.
Yes,
Let's go back to Handel.
If we have time at the end, maybe I'll talk a little bit. But Handel, like, no, Bogul and I have been paying attention to these guys for a while. They've kind of like popped around the map. You see them after Invasion Day a lot, and it's been for a number of seasons they've popped around. And we've always assumed that they were a German guild because Handel means chicken in German. And we were like, okay, just some weird German guild likes chicken.
Where they actually from?
Apparently they're Spanish from South America, I
Where
believe.
they from? Really?
Yeah, and
What country do we know?
I don't know yet. I'm going to be doing an interview with these guys very soon, and I may have just said something that was inaccurate. What I do know, though, is that Handel is also the name of the street that founding members live on.
Wow.
And it's like a real world friend guild that started, with a group of friends, then came in 8th for the season.
That's actually amazing. That's a great
awesome.
story.
That's awesome. You don't
If they
get
can
that.
do it. If they can do it, this is just like living proof that if a guild just got created from 5 real life friends, you said, right?
5, yeah.
And
I
they
think it
come
was 5.
number 8.
Mhm.
That's just an amazing story. Like, that's just great. Like, hopefulness. It just promotes hopefulness. And, just, I don't know, like, anybody can do it if they can do it, right? They're brand new.
Well, if proving that point 100%, you know who came in number 7?
Who?
Conflict.
Oh.
I mean, this is a bunch of gamer dads. I mean, hardcore, like pen and paper. I mean, they're one of the few games few guilds in Albion that still plays this game as if it was a pen and paper RPG. I mean, they have more.
That's toxic, Shozen.
Shozen's so toxic.
They have When we went from in Vendetta, which I thought was a gamer dad guild, we did some. Super Dad was the guy who made our paperwork. Literally gamer dad guild. Between Alpha 1 and 2, we had 27-page document on how to get ready for Alpha 2.
What?
Yeah, PowerPoint and shit.
Yeah, PowerPoint, everything, pictures, markers and stuff like that to make the circles bigger. It was impressive stuff. But Conflict, I was in Conflict for 2 months. I needed to hire an accountant just to figure out what I needed to do to get my gear back after CTAs.
Are you serious?
Ridiculous amount of paperwork, but it works for them. It works
You know what,
for them.
Shozen? Some guilds don't offer that gear system,
Exactly.
That's true.
Speaking of
You
guilds
know what's
that no
funny, though,
longer
Shozen?
offer gear replacement, I'm pretty sure phrasing's done, right?
Wait. Just before we hop onto phrasing real quick, let me just say a couple of things. First of all, you mentioned Vendetta. Shout out to SkyT.
Oh, yeah, I've heard he was thinking about coming back.
Yeah, he
he's
talked to
leaving
Mojo
the
about
boys on
that.
I
hordes.io.
know he is. He's ridiculous.
He did say he wanted to try Queen, though. He did say he wanted to
Yes,
try
he
Queen.
did. He did. And I'm still in a couple of chat rooms with him on Discord. It's always fun.
Yeah. Holla at him. All right, you want to jump into phrasing?
Well, anything else you want to say about Conflict?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to say, first of all, like, I didn't like how you just tried to, like, jump over Conflict. They have 20 to 21 strong members,
Just try to jump through them.
Yeah, they have 20 to
Send me
21
some
strong
gamer dads, a lot
members.
of people
20,
working
21
next.
strong members. Is that what you're saying here?
A lot of
Yes,
people working
dude.
next.
Next.
Yeah, what the hell?
What
And
the
then
fuck?
also about Conflict, I want you to know something about Conflict's GM, Starseed. Okay, first
He's
of all,
amazing.
he's a great guy. He's a
Dude,
great guy.
Nicest guy ever.
He's fantastic.
Listen, you should hear him on TeamSpeak. When he comes on TeamSpeak, he commands the room.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like,
With respect.
nobody ever shuts up. Exactly. Nobody ever shuts up.
He doesn't
on
get
TeamSpeak.
loud. He doesn't have to yell.
Mhm.
It's with
Such a nice
respect.
voice. Oh my
Mm.
god. I want to have
And everything he says has meaning behind it. You know what I mean? Like, you can trust Starseed's word.
It's like the opposite of mine, where I have all these filler words just to take up time. What he says has meaning and is very concise. It's good. I had a really good interview with him. It was impressive and showed me how wrong I really was.
And real quick about Conflict, me and Mojo talk about this all the time, literally all the time. They have a really good shot caller. His name is Lemny. He leads a strong 20-man group a
Who?
lot of the times. Lemny.
I have not heard of him before.
Shozen's so disrespectful. Oh my
You're
God.
so mean. Okay, and also shout out to Cursed and Frozen. And yeah, we can jump over Conflict now if you want.
All right. No, I love Conflict. Big fans of them. Yes, Lemny is fantastic, but still don't know who he is. I keep running through by him. We just never we've never got a
Mojo,
real
how was
chance.
Chosen worried about you being toxic? I don't get it.
We've just
What?
never gotten a chance to talk. I don't know. It's weird. It's
So
a strange situation.
We love you, Lee.
Phrasing. What can we say about phrasing?
Are they still waiting in West Anglia or what?
No, I think they got, and this is really sad. I feel like phrasing never got to have its moment. Like, I always felt phrasing got really comfortable with West Anglia, and they were good at what they did. They never really had a challenge, and they didn't ever reach out to find one because they always would get so big that somebody would say, we're too big, let's break off and challenge phrasing. And they never really had the need to move to get content because apparently they always had content there because, you know, I went anywhere else and I never saw them. So I'm really sad that in this new world where they would finally get the chance to move and actually fight against somebody of their caliber, it doesn't seem like they're coming. I feel I've heard rumors, and I don't know how substantiated they are that phrasing is done.
If anybody here knows about phrasing the most, it would be Mojo. But like, just one thing about phrasing, it's hard to say you don't get content when you actively don't look for it because you want to sit on money. That's my opinion.
Oh well,
but Mojo knows
is
more
that
about
is that a
phrasing
thing
than
they
me.
say is they don't get content? Is that a?
I mean, you said it like.
No,
you
I
know,
said I
don't
thought
have
they did
content.
get content because they never had to go anywhere to search it out. I always felt it came to them on their very large perimeter. They always were able to, on Invasion Day, secure a very large territory, and you didn't see a lot of invasion into it. You didn't see people taking off big chunks of phrasing territory. They always seemed to be able to recapture it, and the reason I thought they never went against high-level competition was because of where they were, and they never wanted to move because moving home plots has always been one of the most difficult things to do. I mean, you guys never really dealt with that as you were city folk for a long period, right? You guys lived out of Carleon and just raided whatever portal you felt like destroying.
Yeah, we got that good life, you know. We
Yeah.
live in the city.
But like, if you developed some kind of attachment to where you lived, which I hope you guys do in your new territories in the new world, that you wouldn't want to necessarily move. And I felt that phrasing and the way they played would do so well in this new patch. Like, I don't want to talk any shit about phrasing. I actually felt like their members should have had a good time in this game. I always saw them having fun on Invasion Day. So
Mojo knows the most about phrasing. You should
Okay.
ask him about it.
Mojo,
to be
what can you
honest.
tell me about phrasing? Let's give him a couple.
I mean, look, like the thing is, I like how you're trying to give them the benefit of the doubt,
Mhm.
but you know, it's mostly about mentality, and it seems like they just, it seemed like they really wanted to. Like we saw them ZVZ, we saw them start ZVZing, right?
Mhm.
They went from being an AFK West Anglia guild, GVG guild. We started seeing them do content. They were winning some ZVZ fights. They were posting on Reddit. They were coming out with that propaganda, those videos. But in the end, it just seemed like it broke apart before Queen. So I think there's bigger things at play there.
Mm-hmm.
You mean like
Uh,
internal conflict, Mojo?
External, internal conflict. I
Yeah,
think
internal
I think
conflict.
they are a victim of the meta.
Yes. I think it had something to do with PoE.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about it. That's not usually the areas that I search out information. I try to get the information from the people who come to me and say, hey, this is what happened to me. I'd rather give the...
Would you say
front side story.
Cynic might have had a hand in that?
Oh,
Shows it.
I would never say anything about Syndic. He made it clear that I got to be really careful about what I say. Or who knows?
Oh,
Don't cross lines. Crossing lines is
geez.
crossing lines.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he
reported
playing a
shows that.
puppeteer again?
Yeah, he's a scary man.
I wouldn't mess with Syndic,
I
dude.
wouldn't
Last
mess
time I heard, I heard that before he started playing Albion, he sat there taking notes for 2 years on it. So just wait, why are you laughing, Mojo? I just heard that.
I'm sure that Syndic had prepped a lot for Albion because he's very good at it. He went from not having a real ZVZ force to, I don't know. I've seen you guys have some difficulty with some of his mammoths. Not recently, in the last 2 days, but I've seen it in the past.
Oh yeah, no, we've had troubles in the last couple of days against their Jurassic Park. It's insane.
Yeah, they do bring.
Yeah,
them
they're
in.
all zookeepers there. They're zookeepers
Hey,
in PoE. No,
I keep saying that we should see more ballistas on the field, and Sucks keeps telling me I'm wrong.
They got Bunkasauruses. They got fucking all types.
yeah,
of
they got.
shit.
Yeah, tell them what they got, Mojo. Tell them. Name them.
Aerodactyls.
They got those beetles, pterodactyls. Yeah,
Bunkasaurus.
next.
I feel like somehow how did PoE take up the phrasing 3 minutes?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
You know what, dude?
It shows you're a
You're
terrible
right, dude.
interviewer. Come on,
Huh?
get your
Yeah,
head
dude.
down. Let's go next.
Speaking of PoE, what about the hustling hitmans?
Get him out of here.
I know. Yo, listen.
Those
I
are-
know
those are good
Hustling
Spanish
Hitman's
guild there.
good. I'm gonna tell you something about Hustling Hitmans. I played with them season 1 and 2 when I was in Oops. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say the leader of Hustling Hitmans, Norganon, is a very trustworthy, and he actually
Really?
puts trust in people.
Mm-hmm.
Guild leader, and he's actually very nice. I don't know.
Really?
Yes, he's a yo.
I'm not being so-
Why you gotta be so shocked? You know,
Yeah,
in order
he's a
to
very nice
get a
guy.
guild to this level, you have to have some level of charisma in order to lead the guild. So you're going to find a lot of guild leaders of differing types, and friendly, nice guy could be one of those types.
And
Well,
the
I
thing
We
is,
haven't seen it before, but it could be.
whoa, yo, chill, dude. Hello. Yo, also, by the way, Shozen, on the topic of Hustling Hitmans, because we haven't got the 3 minutes up yet, right?
No, Hustling Hitman deserves some more time. Yeah.
A lot of other they're a Spanish guild.
Yep, I
A
believe
lot
so.
of other Spanish guilds tried to come at them to
Mhm.
try to, shake the ladder.
Oh,
But these motherfuckers were on top of the ladder,
Oh,
under
hey,
the
now.
ladder, holding the ladder. They're under the ladder, on top of the ladder, holding the ladder from all sides. They're locusting the ladder. They want to make sure that ladder does not get shook.
Uh-huh.
And I respect Norganon for that. And it takes a lot of work to manage, a guild, an international guild. I mean, a national, a one language kind of
no,
guild.
yeah,
Only
yes.
because everybody always tries to make it to the top there,
Yeah.
and it's hard. But that's all I know about them, to be honest. Nothing else.
Like for me, I'm surprised they still have the same leader. Like when you said that their leader is still the same from before. Like I heard his name from before. I'm surprised they still have the same leader. Like most of these guilds fall apart so fast. These guys have been together, I guess, for like a lot
Still
of
the
seasons.
same. Yeah,
So-
Mojo since season 1, bro. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, I'll be having
Like
an
the
interview
same
with
leader, same-
them as well next week, I believe. Or at least
Nice.
it's one of the ones we're trying to get, and we haven't nailed down a date yet. A lot of
deserve it.
great
They
guilds
deserve it
reached
for
out
sure.
to get it done. I really appreciate everybody who reached out to
They're
try to get an
super
interview.
they were going to castles every day. They were even if it was by themselves, they were going to castles every day. So I guess they deserve it. 100% they deserve it.
Well, if you get to level 5, to the top 5,
Top 5, yeah.
no, there's nothing about it. You deserve it. You did something special. You did something that very few guilds could achieve. Speaking of something that very, very, very few guilds achieved this season. Holy cow. These are the
Crystal.
4 crystal rank guilds. 4 of them. 4 of them. How many did we have in season
yeah.
7? How many did we have in season 7? Was it
Like-
the entire top
like
10?
10.
It was. It was the entire top 10. This season, it was exclusively the people who could have vied for the top at one point or another. It's well, I don't know. Let's remove Black Order from that, because Black Order had a serious push at the end. I don't know if they really could have gotten first place at any point. Maybe if the season was 2 more
They
weeks.
never got boosted. Black Order never got boosted.
They never got boosted?
Never got boosted.
Are you sure?
100%.
Okay, I have an interview tomorrow. We'll play that one too.
Listen, Chosen, before I know you're laughing, dude. Like that's so disrespectful. I'll start it off about Money Guild. Okay, they have a great GM, number 1, Kazara. I mean, Derek. Sorry. Great GM.
Who's
Money Guild,
Kazara?
okay. What do you mean?
See?
Oh, now I'm causing trouble here. Good job, Sucks. Okay.
This is why
What?
sending order you.
Listen.
Mhm.
Yeah, go Mojo, go. Tell them.
Look, Kazara is the lady who kept Team Casualty alive when everyone declared it dead. She absorbed Money Guild into their into Team Casualty, and they created a new guild. So, we got to give her some respect at least.
Well,
For sure.
I think if she's getting those players, a bunch of really good players in there, and she could probably, if she can lead those
They got
players.
Carguero.
For now,
Yes, they got Carguero.
they've got some other good players too. I hope Lissy Tank's in there, right?
Lacey's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bonneville.
Bodeville, those are really great players. Is
Yep.
Derek going to be rejoining them, or is...
Yes, sir. He's there too.
Okay. Well, that's an awesome group of players. They could absolutely achieve something. And if she can lead them up and get them motivated, I would love to see them back. So far, I haven't seen them on the map yet. Have you seen them on the map in the last 2 days?
We haven't seen them in Queen, but I've seen their hideout somewhere.
Okay. Because I'm going to be honest. I'm
Kisara,
I'm
maybe Kisara will be
concerned.
the Perel of their guild. You know?
He needs somebody to even out the decisions. You know what I mean? Somebody to talk to about these things. I always feel that good leadership needs a couple of heads to talk things over. And hopefully Money Guild or Team Money or Money Team or Guild Casualty.
Yo, chill. Yo, Shozen.
Well-
are you like their fucking spokesperson now or what?
No, I want... No, to me, like, okay. My audience, guys, whether they like me or not, the people who watch me, the majority of the people are the top tier players in this game. Whether they like what I'm saying or not, they'll listen so that they can either go, yeah, that was fun and I enjoyed what you said and it was funny, or I hate you and I'm just here to say, how the hell do you still have a job? And either way, as long as it's, you know, these guys are enjoying the banter with the other people in the room, and it's building these characters up at a higher level, and they all get to interact with each other, and they have a medium or a central focus point to do that through the AO Daily Show, where they can talk shit, have fun, and do whatever, and have their fights aired out. You know, I'm all for it. And so, yes, I want Money Guild to do well. It's full of top tier players. Team Casualty, the new one, Team Casualty, I think version 6, which is now going to version 7 as it merges with Money Guild. They've always been pretty active and pretty good.
So let's do this. Jokes aside, Chosen. Okay, jokes aside. Let's do this real quick. We have like 1 minute maybe left. So number one, the reason you have a job is because you're the best at what you do. That's done. Next, last time we talked about Money Guild. Okay, last season, me, you, Mojo. Like, we said things, you know, that are, nobody can deny these things. Derek, no, like, nothing can stop Derek. Like, he's never, you can knock him down, but he'll never stay down. He'll always come back up, you know, and just keep doing what he's doing. Okay. Like, that's a trait that every GM should always have. It's good for the guild. Other things are good for the guild too, but you need other people in that with Derek to make those decisions, because, you know, we all know how things play out in that guild, right? So now he has Kazara, like Mojo said, and you said that that's good for the guild, and that's true. Everybody can agree with that. You know, different point of views, different perspectives, and I'm pretty sure she has GM, you know, so things could be stable there.
Well, and that also gives him the option to take a break at times. Is there anybody in this game who went as hardcore for as long as he did?
Yes, many people, but
At his high level?
Yeah, I think so personally. Like, but I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. But I know people have gone like as hard as he did. I know people who played 12 hours a day. Albion, you know.
No,
there's
I don't want to, you know, discount anybody's efforts in there. I'm sure a lot of people putting a lot of effort.
So I don't know. Like, I feel like a lot of people played as hard, but Derek, you know, like we say, he always gets back up, you know, and he always rebuilds and he always goes back at it.
Well, I think
and that's a trait that's very important.
That might be part of the reason why I think it's harder, because he keeps having to go back up to the top. You know,
But is that self-inflicted or not? So it's kind of hard to like.
No, I'm not going to deny that. No, there's there's self-inflicted wounds in all of this. Everybody has their their issues. But as far as just longevity of fighting back against difficult odds, a lot of times, the guy's done it a lot. I've been impressed. But he also builds up these armies that do invite that kind of reaction. Like, there's a reason why 2 different coalitions, maybe 3, have been formed to defeat his empires. It's because he creates empires.
I mean, it's a different game now.
Yeah. On to number 3. The top 3. Rack.
Rack.
Sure.
Shiro's enemies, yeah.
Yeah.
So one interesting thing about them is they're about to join Vibe.
What?
So,
Whoa.
yes. Well,
Okay.
with Take Care. So basically, Take Care's alliance. The interesting, why I say it's interesting is because
didn't they change the name of their alliance now? Isn't it like 1941?
1941.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So the interesting thing about them is the if you face them off against their opponents, right? So let's say we have squad and we have 1941 alliance. So for example, we have international guilds like Take Care and Blue Army facing off. Then we have Sancta Inquisita versus Scuscabel's guild Aggressor. So it's Spanish guilds, international guilds. We have, for example, Target and AW Gaming versus Made in BR, aka Sex with X. So that's 2 Brazilian guilds, 3 Brazilian guilds going off against each other. We have and now we have Rack versus
Black Order.
Black Order,
Yeah.
which brings in Russian. So we all have different nationalities. There's even a Polish guild, Art of War, in their alliance. Which we had KFC before. Now we have some KFC leftovers. They disbanded. Some of them created a guild called Expendables. So there's a Polish component there. So we have our Polish going off against each other. We have our Russians going off against each other. Our Brazilians going off against each other. Our international guilds going off against each other. So it builds a good rivalry.
Didn't you also pull in like,
different
a group of
languages.
Frog One as well, and Articula Mortis?
We have groups from
That was a long
Best
time
Retirement
ago.
Home.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have.
But
we're the
did they
Best
stick
Retirement
around?
Home.
They're still here now?
They're inactive a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll poke those guys on Discord and tell them. to come back.
Vazer's wallet. Vazer shows up with his wallet every once in a while. You know, he has that fuck you money. Shozen.
He's got a lot of it, doesn't he?
What's that bank in Game of Thrones?
The Iron Bank.
The Iron Bank. He's like the Iron Bank.
Yeah, he
man.
is.
He's crazy.
Dude's got
Vazer's
loot.
crazy. Yeah.
He was the last owner. Like I want to call him the straight owner. He ran the cartel, right? But he ran the last real cartel. And there was a time where the cities in this game, if you owned the city plots, you could make massive amounts of bank. We're talking. It made.
You know how
owning the
much money
city-
he has, Shozen, rumored?
How much? What's the
Yes.
rumor?
Over
70 million gold though. Vazert. Shout out to Vazert. 70
70
million
million?
gold. 70 million gold
That's
for Vazert.
And
That's-
that's just in
that's
cash, by the way.
7
No items. No items. Just in cash. First of all, this
220.
was before gold went down. Number
Yeah.
one, because he sold it all.
he sold it
That's
all
why
to
kind of
silver.
gold. That's why gold crashed.
Was
when
he
it
was he
4.3.
the motivator behind that one?
He's a big motivator behind that one. A big one.
Yeah, he offered to pay
And-
for my premium.
Hey,
Turn that
you should
down.
have said
I don't
yes.
no, I don't want to owe that favor.
You should have said
Man,
yes, and you would have paid
no.
for a year's premium.
My premium is already paid for. I work for the game. I'm okay.
Okay, that's true. Who do you want to get to next?
We have
Let's
to
see.
talk about Black Order.
Black Order. You know what? I'll say a little bit of things about Black Order because they're Mojo's best friends.
Yeah,
you know.
He really
Like-
loves that Shiro. He
You know,
does.
dude, Shiro is a great guy.
I called you his boo boo, but I don't know. He's like the
Listen, dude,
Barney to his
no.
friend.
You'll never get between Mojo and Shiro. Like it's like Dumb and Dumber. Okay, number one. Number two. Let me tell you. The only reason
Bert and Ernie. It's great.
Beavis and Butthead.
Beavis and Butthead, yeah.
But that's probably the,
The
most
only
accurate one.
reason, the only reason Shozen Black Order is number 2. You know why the only reason Black Order is number 2 is?
Mm-mm.
Because they wanted to be on top of Rack.
Oh, well, yes.
Shiro
okay.
doesn't care.
No,
Shiro
I thought
has
you were going to say why
0
they didn't get
Fs.
to number 1. I was like, yeah, I know why they're
Shiro's so
number
petty.
2.
Shiro's so petty.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Shiro
really
does
wanted-
not care about this game, dude. He logs on like 2 times a day after the CTAs are done sometimes. All he wanted was to beat Rack just to show them, just to show them that no matter what you do,
Mm-hmm.
there will never be a better Russian guild. That's the exact thing he did to HN.
He just if
Well,
another
that
Russian
crash,
guild
you know?
starts making its way up to the charts, he's just like, no, I need to start
There's not.
He goes,
there's not a
Mojo,
lot
Mojo,
of,
I need your help. I need your help.
Yes.
There's not a lot of Russian leaders. You know, there's a very small choice, and
Mhm.
the best one is always gonna be Shiro. Whenever he's motivated, like there's no more. There's not a more fun guild to play in if you're Russian than in the Shiro guild. You know, like he always showed results, and he can go AFK for like a month, come back, and just bring 200 Russians. Like it's insane. I've never seen anything like it. So that's why me sucks, and the rest of BA leadership we like Shiro.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just I don't know. It's kind of unique to work with someone like him. It's not the typical Russian leader. He's a little bit different. When he's motivated, if he has a goal, you can't really stop him. You know, he's very relentless, and he's very
And
funny.
nothing
You know,
shakes him.
Shiro
Oh,
very
he's
well.
very
Shows
funny.
it.
He's I'll admit it. Like the first few times I met him, I was a little off put because it
sure.
was like, well, when I met him, I was hanging out with you and Derek and Roselia and Waited, and when you would
Waited.
get that kind of room together, it got pretty ridiculous real fast. And Shiro would hold his own, and he's the guy who would pull no punches. You know what I mean? And that's in a room full of guys who pull no punches. So it was. The first couple of times it was a little weird, but then as I got to know him, I realized that he's actually a soft kind of nice guy, and he's enjoyable to be around. He's not trying to be a jerk or mean to anybody. He just has his way, and he doesn't back down. He does not back down, and if you step up to him, you're gonna have an issue. It's
You will
impressive.
regret. And if you ever try to pull one on Shiro, first of all, he'll never let you forget about it. Number one, number two, you will regret it. And Mojo knows, Mojo knows that one till today.
yeah,
they
He
talk
says
about-
I still owe him like 100 million from like 3 years ago. I'm like,
I hate to spoil like tomorrow's interview, guys, but like I asked Shiro what he thought of what happened between Mojo and Derek, and he goes, "Who cares what happens between two backstabbers who backstab each other's backstabbers?" And it's like, okay, good to hear. Let's get into that story, and we did, and you can listen to that tomorrow. It's a good one.
Shiro. Listen, Shozen, about Shiro, I guess you'll find out the rest of it tomorrow because he has head cash. That's how he says headache.
yes,
Oh my god. Head cash. Shiro's a great guy, dude. He's a great character
amazing.
to have.
I'm glad that he's back in Albion, and I hope he sticks around for the full season and then some. I have loved every single season that he's participated up until this one, where no, that's not true. He's done very well in other seasons before, but I always like to pick on him about that amazing push he always makes, and then decides to go AFK.
Yeah, shout out to Yum, by the way. Shout out to Yum if we're talking about Shiro,
Okay. I don't know who's you.
his girlfriend,
Okay.
IRL.
That he met in a video game.
Hey, listen, I'm not trying to get into that kind of stuff,
Hey,
but like,
successful e-dating is successful e-dating.
yeah,
All I'm
yeah,
saying
yeah.
is
Let's leave it at that. Yo, Mojo, help me out here, dude. Shozen trying to come at me, dude. I'm fragile, Shozen. Okay, I have a big heart.
who's number two? Who's number two? I mean, who's number one?
Number one is, well, I
Thank
guess
you.
number one we have to talk about two right off the bat, as in they've got the double healer comp that just kicked ass for the last few
Ooh.
seasons, and they've been doing really well with it. Everybody hates it, yet they have been able to duplicate that double healer Black Hands comp 4 different times with 2 high-level, very competent GVG teams, a couple other GVG teams that would get to like rank 5 in crystals or something. They did damn good. As a Money Guild was better as a 5v5 guild. They were just better. I mean, I feel like we didn't talk enough about some of the efforts that Money Guild put out this season. They had some numbers during the beginning of the season as far as GVGs that we've never seen before, as far as number per day. They were over 25 a day. That's incredible. That's insane.
Yeah, so that Money Guild in terms of GVGers in the beginning of the season, they united most of the good GVGers in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They had maybe 6 of the best 10 teams in the game in Money Guild, maybe 7. One was June that was not in Money Guild, and then there was 2 more somewhere out there.
2 in Arrow 404 that were consistently matching with the top money guild teams. I don't want to say that they're consistently beating them, and I don't know the exact percentage of, but they would in
right.
Yeah, in Anglia or in Crystals. Yeah, they I don't know what the high IP fights would have been. Yeah, it's
skill set, right?
It's different.
Because the lower IP you fight, the different you can change your comp, and you can exploit different compositions and stuff like that. So, but if we're talking about skill set, Money Guild probably had the top 7 teams out of the top 10.
Really?
Yeah. In the beginning of the season, they had the KFC team, GVG team that was strong. They had the G List and Tabiti, MSSJ. They had the Cargera team. They had the I-10 Bears team. They had they had Evaniscus. So many good players. So they probably had 7 of the top 10 teams.
That's what I'm saying, man. I can't imagine that these guys won't come together to make a significant force. There's so many good players in those 2 guilds. They need to. I don't like not seeing them do something these first few days of Queen.
I mean, you never know, dude. You never know. But right now, it looks a little bit bleak in that aspect. But you never know, because like we said before, like Derek.
Well, none of this actually really matters until those towers become vulnerable. He has a week plus left to make a choice on where he wants to go. Look at where people put down. Nobody's filling up their zones yet. It's not like he would be blocked by zones. So he's got options. But let's go back to Aero 404. Not only did they have some very competent GVG teams that, yes, at the lower skill cap, they were very competitive. But they also brought forth for a single guild at the time. The entire season, they were a single guild. They were able to control a huge chunk of territory in Anglia through both the ZVZ and the GVGs. They did amazing as a single guild.
You know what's impressive about Aero 404, Chosen? They're mostly French, right?
They're all, yeah, they're most, yeah.
Not all. They have some
French,
French.
But yeah, but very, very French-centric, yeah.
But, most of the time, like, Mojo knows this too, actually. I don't know about you, Shozen, but a lot of the times, there's a big problem with French GVG teams, okay? Like, it's normally that they get, like, 1 or 2 losses, and then they tilt and disband the team.
True.
So, like, for them to keep going this many seasons in a row with almost the same team constantly is pretty impressive. And now they win the season. Like, that just shows, like, hard work, determination, just gets you rewarded.
I've heard really good things about Molik as a leader. So he's a very good teacher. He does a lot to keep the GVGs going and teaching other people how to do it. It takes a really strong teacher sometimes to make these kinds of things work. And it doesn't seem like there's a lot of infighting or raging or anything when I was talking to members of the guild. So it seemed like a happy bunch.
They're like a tight-knit community. Yeah. And that's pretty cool to see, like, for a French guild, because, like, us in squad, like, we had an experience with a French guild, Talion. Like, we love them, Mojo loves them. I love them. Like, Castaigne's our boy, And they disbanded, but now they're back. But, like, you very rarely see a French community stick together like that.
Well, maybe stick together, but I have to stick up for my favorite GVG team of all time. To say that, like, a French GVG team loses a few and then quits, I think of Frog 1 as my very favorite 5-person group in this game that has ever come out. They were fantastic, and they played with each other for a very long time. And it wasn't until one of the 5 members couldn't GVG anymore that they stopped, and that's when they stopped, when they couldn't be a 5-man team.
That's the thing. That goes to what Sux is saying, though.
Well, he said that they would stop because they would get a couple of losses and then stop. And losses never stopped Frog 1. I mean, they're known as the 5 guys who ran at 20. You got to have balls to do that.
But that's the exception. Like 2 guilds out of 50 French guilds, that it works for. And you see how successful that team becomes.
Well, I just got to defend my boys. That's all I'm saying. I got to step out there. So what else can any of you guys tell me about Aero 404? Because I have an interview coming with them on Friday. I believe the interview will be out. But I want to hear from people who face them on the field. What was it like to fight them? How annoying was that dual healer?
So in the crystals I've done, I didn't do much crystals this season, but in the other seasons that I did do crystals in, every time I saw Era 4-4, I'm like, God damn it. In crystals usually, I'm like, God damn it. Like, are you serious? Like, you spend 25 minutes trying to cap 1 point in a crystal.
It's amazing.
Kill him in 4.1 to come back. And it's like, the thing is this, it's like, people are going to trash talk. The thing about Era 4.4, what they need to understand and what people need to understand, right, is people are going to trash talk these dudes, these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, it doesn't matter in this game how you win. You know?
Just win.
Like, yeah, all it's going to do, like, you know, people say, oh, you win with no honor. So, for example, with Era 4.4, they'll say, you went double healer, so you have no honor. The thing is, it's like, honor in this game is a very fucking overused word, you know? It doesn't mean anything. Like, all it does is, if you win in a certain way, right? All it does is it forces, like, your haters to just be creative with the
creative, their insults, yeah.
With their insults.
Or
so for
less
example,
creative, or less creative.
Or less
Yeah,
creative.
they'll just go.
Or less creative, exactly. So let's say you win with double healer, you know, those are saying, you know, you're just a shit double healer team, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if they didn't win with double healer, they would have said, oh, squad helped you, you know. And if squad didn't help them, they would have said, you know, they're
napping with
stuff like that. So it doesn't matter, man. Like, all that matters in the end is you win. And I learned that a long time ago in the hard way, you know, because I remember some seasons, one particular season that, for example, that I personally lost was like season 1, and Sux was there on the other side. He won that season. It's like they, for example, paid Arch, you know, to help them. And I was like, oh my God, that's so unhonorable. Not, you know, no honor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, at the end, I'm like, yo, that shit really don't matter.
And that was the exertion.
That shit don't matter,
right?
Yeah.
exertion.
That shit actually does not matter, you know. Or for example, I'll give you another example. When we joined Daddy Alliance to come back on that 90K lead, right? We allied a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and we ended up making a comeback. And then everyone said, "Oh my God, you guys have such a big alliance." Okay, but the other side tried to pay Arch and tried to pay Ego, tried to pay Sauce, and those alliances just said no. You know?
Well, that alliance was the first. Well, with Money Guild trying to push for its 3rd gem in season 7, they had made the first really big mega alliance of that season, and they grew past what June was doing with Daddy, and Daddy actually came out of Win, I believe, and was originally founded by a small number of alliances, a small number of guilds. And then June started doing really well in GVGs against Money Guild, and it started building support for them to actually try for it. Because in the early part of that season, it just seemed like a foregone conclusion that Money Guild and its very large alliance, in the start, comparatively to others, not at the end of the season, we'll give them that, they looked like they were running away with it. But then those matches between 1PG happened, and those matches between June happened. And people started being like, I don't know, it's possible. And then that's when I heard that there was some trash talk between you guys and Take Care at the time. And Take Care was saying that they were basically winning the season for Money Guild, and that there was nothing anybody could do about it. And you were like, I don't know, maybe?
So I'll give you a small, like, there's a lot of holes that, like, just came up right now, just real quick.
Okay, no. Tell me the real story. I've gotten bits and pieces. I want to hear the real story.
I got you. So listen, for a long time, you know Blue Army, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you watch our fights, you know people run from us all the time. Doesn't matter who it is. Take Care, blah 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 blah. They all run. For a long time, they all ran. They still run most of the time now. Okay. So for a long time, we were getting 0 fights. 0. Everybody would run. We got no content in Mercia, no content in Cumbria. So Blue Army, we made a choice to give content to the boys to move to Anglia, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, we're gonna go to Anglia. Maybe there's content there since everybody here runs, including Take Care. They would fight only on their terms, and barely even then. Like if they have double numbers, zone lock, blah blah blah, whatever. So we're like, let's move Anglia. We're tired of winning fights. Like it's too easy, blah blah blah, and people run, blah blah blah, whatever. So we moved to Anglia. Then these MFers start. I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to say because you yelled at me before.
I did, and I'm gonna edit it out.
Okay. So these guys start talking a lot of shit. I don't mean a little bit of shit, Shozen. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of shit. Started like Reddit. Oh, BA bullied out of Mercia. Blah blah blah. Take Care #1. So listen. As soon as we saw that, and guess what? We're like, all right, we're coming back. Like we moved back. Within a week, we started smashing these guys again. You know, we smashed them like within a week. We made them start going to Anglia themselves.
Oh.
We made them leave Mercia and go to Anglia themselves in a week. So like on this game, okay, to go back to your point of what it takes to win, people, if you want to win on this game, Mojo touched on this, people will do like whatever it takes to win on this game. Some people will cross the line, some people won't. Like Blue Army does not cross that line.
Don't cross
like
that
we
line.
don't cross the line.
Crossing
but we
a line
always
is
make sure we
crossing a
win.
line when you cross that
Yeah,
line.
yeah. We always make sure to win, you know, in the best way possible. You know, that's an honorable thing. Like I've been in many guilds. Mojo's been in many guilds. I can say something about us that we are, for the most part, we're honestly honorable. You know, like we don't cross that line unless somebody crosses it first. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Chosen.
Yeah.
So for that story, Take Care. Started talking a lot of shit. We had to put them in their place. That's why we came back from Anglia, and that's why they moved back to Anglia. You understand how that worked?
Yeah. I want to talk more about Arrow 404.
Yeah, the thing is, that brings me to my point.
Yeah.
That shit don't matter. Like, it doesn't matter how you win.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what people say
As
about
long
it.
as they won.
Yeah, they
Oh,
won.
as long as they won. Hajime, Molek, these guys won, man. They spent all fucking day, every fucking night.
Mm-hmm.
They spent getting season points. Avalonian bosses, mage raiding, doing crystals, EU and NA, doing castles every fucking day, and they showed up all the time. The thing is, look, if Arrow 404 wanted, and if they needed it, BA and squad would have helped them win the season against Money. Right?
Oof.
If they needed it, we would help them. I told them straight up, I'm like, yo, look, this is what's gonna happen. You guys are gonna go against Money Guild, and if it's close, we'll help you. Was it close? Not really.
No. They took
So
it
they
like...
didn't need our help. They did not need our help. So we're like, okay, whatever. That's it. They deserved it. They put all the work in. They put the hours in. You can't discuss it. It doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck if you disagree with their double healer comp.
No,
I don't give a fuck
if you complain about it. That means you lost to it.
That's it. That's it, man. We can talk about every single season. We can break down every single season and be like, okay, first season, having one GVG team was too OP. You know,
Right.
Third season, Castles was too OP.
Yeah.
This season, this was too OP. This season was too OP. Listen, if that's the season of double healer, then they did it the best. That's it.
Yep.
Facts.
100%. That's the way I feel about it. I'm very impressed how they did it as one guild alone. And they, like you said, they didn't just do the low IP GVGs. They also did the castles. They did the outposts. They did everything.
Everything, man.
Everything. And that's really
EU
impressive.
and NA, and it has one guild, and it's not like they're a BA. It's not really an international guild.
No.
Yes, they got Canadian, French Canadians. Yes, they got people from EU in France, but they don't have the advantages that like a guild like BA or Take Care has, where it's like they have people from Brazil, people from Spain and stuff like that, from different time zones, oceanic, to cover all time zones. They did it with 2 time zones, and they did it in their unique way without any help from anybody.
Absolutely.
So GG to them.
100%.
Facts.
Amazing job for those guys. And nobody can take this season away from them. They deserve it. I just wish that I wish they got the ring. They had a complaint about a ring because they're the first guild to come in first that doesn't get the unique crystal ring, and they seem to be upset about that.
I mean,
The ring or the gem? You mean the gem on their?
No, they're getting
their-
a gem. They have a gem. You know you get your avatar ring. You know
they
we have
should get
that-
it. They
that
should
crystal
get it,
one.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they deserve that
Yeah.
for sure. The fuck?
Yeah, I hadn't heard about that until they said it, so I'm hoping to hear back from that in some official capacity. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get it. It's because it's not marked down as a real season. It's an Avalonian
Right.
invasion. Got
And
it.
so yeah, they feel like they earned it, and I kind
They
of feel
should
like
still
they
get
did, so.
something. No,
Well, they did. They're getting a unique one. Everybody who gets Crystal this season gets a unique one, and they get their statue in the most prominent spot in Carleon now, and they'll have a very unique statue because I wouldn't be surprised if it's 2 people.
Hey, speaking of statues, it's okay. We don't care about statues. We have like 5 of them or 4 of them. No, it's
You
all
can't
good.
even count how many statues you have. Sucks.
I lost count, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
All right.
What
so
are we at 7? We're at 7.
Yeah.
That's a lot of seasons, dude. It's a lot of seasons. 7 out of 8, not bad.
Yeah.
All right, so we are actually right at an hour here, but I did want to give you guys a little time. I know we keep going back to your guild BA here, but I wanted to give you a little bit of time to say what you felt in the last few days as far as competition, because I've been watching, and it seems like you guys are really putting the foot down on the competition in your local area, and even the entire inner circle. You guys want to fill the audience in?
I
on?
got proven wrong by Mojo. Not gonna lie on this one. Look, when Queen came up, I was like, "Yo, Mojo, this map is way too freaking big, man. Like, it's way too big. Okay, for the amount of people that play
I
this
thought
game,
that too, to be honest.
I felt like it was too big. This map." And then Mojo was like, "Yo, just wait till the inner ring. Like, we'll probably get content." I've been online since 14 UTC. I went to work for like 3 hours, came back, non-stop fights since 14 UTC till now, man. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. I love it. I really do.
Excellent. Mojo, your thoughts?
It's giving us like a beta 2 feel, kind of.
Excellent.
Where it's
Oh,
like,
that's so good.
yeah, like the map layouts are similar, and also just the map in general is like a better version of beta 2, where it's like everyone's more accessible than in beta 2, where everybody was spread out in a huge map. The map is huge right now, but if you're in middle, you can kind of get to wherever you want. You can kind of maneuver to the whatever spot you choose to, and get content there. So no one's not accessible. You have access to whichever guild or alliance you want to fight, and at the same time, there's still a lot of spaces, a lot of territories for people to take. There's a lot of outer areas where smaller guilds can actually locate to. I hope like SBI gives the smaller guilds like an opportunity. So for example, on the outer ring, it's like a cap, like 40v40 and stuff like that. So that would be nice. They'll probably put that shit in the future. But for now, everyone was kind of like thinking like sucks, whereas the map is too big, no content, whatever. But slowly we're seeing the advantages of living in the middle of the black zone. It brings your guild together. You need to work with your guild. You need to create a market with your guild and kind of like support each other, and create a base and just live out of there.
Teamwork, baby. Teamwork.
Excellent.
That's it.
And how do you feel about that smart cluster queue? Because I've seen you guys engage with that a couple of times, and it seems to have made a lot of long engaged fights.
Yeah. Look, I think everybody was thinking it's going to be a lot more bugged or more buggy than it is. But the performance, first of all, is much better than everybody thought it would be, including me. I thought it was going to be terrible. I thought it was going to be buggy. I thought it was going to be a lot of problems, a lot of issues. But there's very little issues. I'm still trying to figure out
With the queue?
Yeah. Like, I'm still trying to figure it out. I think we're all still trying to figure it out. A lot of people are getting zoned out, even though, they had priority on you can give priority to certain players, so they stay in the. But, like, we're all trying to figure out how all that stuff works. The IP cap, the IP priority. But in general, it's working a lot better than whatever system we had before. Excellent. So I'll give you an example. Today, we should have been zone locked out. We just zoned in, and we just had almost an equal number fight. So it's better than what we had before. No more zone locks and stuff like that. So any system is better than zone lock. Whatever system that is not zone lock is better than zone lock. So, a couple adjustments, and then we're good.
you think it's leading to more fights and less running? Because I noticed that a couple of
100%.
teams seem to start.
Hell yes, then.
Good. That was something that I thought would happen. That was one of the reasons why I was like, we need to do this.
Can you hear me good, by the way, Shozen?
Yeah,
Can you hear me
fine.
good?
Yeah.
I hear you perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I want to say, look, if we're talking about the smart cluster, this was probably the best change they could have added into the game, especially with a patch like this. So we had a lot of issues in the past, and it doesn't matter like who you point your fingers at, right? Who zone capped this? Was it squad or oops? Who zone capped this? Was it PO or squad or oops? Blah blah blah, or ego or arch? It doesn't matter, right? Somebody zone capped at a certain point, and that denied content.
Right. No more denied.
That doesn't exist anymore.
I honestly believe, like, since season 1, since this game got released, because people have been zone locking since this game got released. This is probably the best patch to make sure content is never denied. This is literally the best patch I've ever probably experienced on Albion, personally speaking, like this update. But also, not just smart queue, but I feel like they updated something in the game, like, and I haven't been rubber banding as much.
Okay, so I actually talked to Robin about that today, because I've been thrilled with the performance. He said it was over the last 6 months or so, they've had a lot of little additions and fixes in the netcode and in the way that different spells interacted and just the way the information was transferred, and a lot of it was just a ton of little things, right? And then when it finally all got implemented together with Queen, it just worked. It just, like, they had tested it. It worked well. But they didn't know what it was going to do under massive load. They had put it under bots. They had tried it out with as much testing as they could get the players to do. But they didn't even know how well it was going to respond with the patch. They didn't know under load. And it's basically exceeding everybody's expectations.
It's definitely really good. It's definitely really good. But I don't want them to stop working on it. Only because, like, I'm hearing a lot from West Coast. Like, I'm from California, right? So I'm a West Coast player, and it seems to be like a real prevalent issue with the rubber banding with the West Coast players. I don't know why. I'm sure everybody gets it, but like West Coast players are normally complaining about that a little bit more. Okay. But it's definitely an improvement,
huge
like
improvement.
100%.
Yeah. While we were watching it, he and I we were talking about how how the performance was, and he was talking about the little hiccup, the occasional one, and he was talking about how he wants to fix that. Like for me, I get maybe once every 45 seconds or something, I get a hiccup, and it isn't really that bad. It doesn't impact gameplay. It's just almost like a just tiny graphical stutter, right? Just that tiny little rubber band. But he says that they're still working on fixing that. That's his goal. That would be great.
See, I get that. At castle fights, for example, I get that hiccup that you're talking about. You say once every 45. I get that about once every 20. Once every 20 seconds, I get that hiccup. But it lasts for about like 3-4 seconds,
Oh, I get mine for like just a half second. But
so
they are still working on it. They are aware of that. They are not resting on their laurels. I think they're...
That's beautiful. That's great to hear.
Albion right now is at a point with the way gameplay is right now that if it's at that point now where if you could go tell your friends you want to go play this game, you need to see this. It's massive battles and it works. It's territorial battles for homes and it works. It's guilds fighting guilds for season rankings and it works. Everything's finally working and it's...
That's for sure. And it just goes together only because Queen is all about teamwork too. So it's like nobody will get left behind if you play the game properly,
That's awesome. Do you guys want to have any final words, like shout outs or final statements? Because I feel like we just gave a pretty good commercial for Queen. You guys, I'm really happy that you're both enjoying it. I couldn't be happier with it myself. Well, except for the poor guys who have Windows 7. But come on, guys, it's about time, right?
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah,
it's about time. I love you guys, and I applaud you for your efforts, but I think it's about time.
That's
kind of give a quick shout out to my boy Antoine. They a lot of the community called me racist, so to prove I'm not racist. I'm shouting out my black friend, Antoine. Also, shout out to Yuki, who's taking a break from Albion right now.
No,
Amazing.
not Yuki.
Yes, Yuki. She did so much for BA. So, much love to Yuki. We love Yuki. So that's it for me.
Sucks.
Shout outs. Same two people that Mojo shouted out, Antoine and Yuki. Antoine, I want to tell you, if people think Mojo's racist, that's his best friend after Shiro. Antoine, that's number 2 right there.
I do know that Antoine is the only person I know that has Mojo's actual Facebook. So
yeah. So there's no way you can say Antoine's racist. Now, for the rest of my shout outs, I just want to say thank you to all the Blue Army, and obviously this includes Blue Army Freemen. Like, people talk shit about Blue Army Freemen, Shozen. I want to tell you right now, Blue Army
can we talk
will
about how
probably,
real quick
destroy anybody.
Listen, BA Freeman got higher ranked than Take Care last season. Just saying.
That's facts. That's facts.
That's toxic, okay? I've
I'm
been
sorry,
accused of being a hater,
Hey,
but to
I got
that your
interrupted.
recruit guild of little potatoes that you got in free to play.
Whoa.
What? This is the guys you poached from Easy, right?
No, Easy members are already in
dude.
Blue Army.
That shit was a year ago.
What does he mean poach? Like, the whole plan from Easy was to merge it to be. Anyways,
okay.
Regardless, let's get back to the important shoutouts. Okay, shoutouts to the Blue Army Freemen that come on every day. Even though some people try to troll them, talking shit about Blue Army Freemen. Let's get this straight. Blue Army Freemen will 1v1 and ZVZ any other guild and will win. That's just off the bat. Okay, any fucking guild.
Was it BA Freeman who were talking smack earlier today about Friday Night Fights?
Oh, you're talking about Theta versus Knight?
Yeah.
No, that's a Blue Army, man. That's like, there's some beef there, but anyways, let's skip that.
Okay.
And my next shout out is to everybody in the Blue Army community, including Blue Army Freemen, obviously, for being the best community out there, who make everything possible for this successful story, the successful story that Mojo and Pere built, and Shazar.
Well, on that note, thank you guys very much once again. I look forward to doing these every season. Hopefully next time when we talk about BA at the end of the episode, it'll be because you were in first and not because we just needed to give you guys your allotted airtime for coming on for an hour.
You know what, Shozen? Thank you so much for letting us come here, hanging out with you in this new tradition of counting down the top 10, guilds. Yeah. Appreciate that. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, thank you.
For keeping us relevant. We appreciate you so much.
If it wasn't for me, where would you guys be during these off seasons? Nobody would ever talk about you. I'm sure I'm the only reason you guys are still relevant. It's true.
Yeah, 11th place. I wonder if that was on purpose, to make sure that we don't get a shout out in this list.
I didn't even know until I looked at it.
I don't know.
It was amazing. Perfect. All right, thank you guys once again. Peace.
Bye, Mr. Shozen.
All right, the recording is over, guys. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun.
Shozen, you're toxic, dude.
I'm just trying to make jokes, dude.